Hello. No, we're not gonna do that here. We're not gonna have the mic muted. Sorry, that's not happening. We tag with the mic on or we don't talk at all. Oof. Oh, of course I'm not screen capturing it, but I am recording audio. But why can't I record it? That's the question.
You hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you.
Oh, you're finally willing to redeem yourself.
Oh, I mean, it's only. I never said I was willing to redeem myself. I said I was willing to talk about the deletion of the videos.
And you're gonna do it? Delete
Under.
those.
I'm not gonna. Under some specific circumstances. Like, I'm not just gonna delete them. If I'm gonna delete them, there's gonna be some results from it. Like, if I'm
Such
gonna.
as.
For one, and I'm not saying for the record, I'm not saying, yo, kill yourself or you gotta do this or resort to suicide. No, that interpret that because that's not what I'm saying. So this is what I'm gonna say. You have to delete all of your hate posts against me, Travis, Frexy, Abdol, Boney the Squirrel. You get to owe them an apology. And you have to take out all of your hate stuff out of your game, all of the malware out of your game, everything. You get to remove all of that and you get to give us an apology. Then then I will take down those videos.
First they should all apologize me, and then I see the reason to um, to remove all the hate posts and stop punishing my enemies.
They don't have to apologize to you. That's the thing. They're not the ones making death threats. That's you. They're not the one making suicide threats.
They're the
That's
ones
you.
causing mental anguish.
No, they're not. That's the thing. They only told you stuff.
They're the one who accused. They're the ones who accuse me for preferring the original Crash Bandicoot over the imposter.
There is no such thing as the imposter Crash Bandicoot. There is. There's only the official Crash Bandicoot.
Which Activision is substituting with an imposter.
No, they're not. I'm sorry, that's a hard truth.
Where's
You realize that the Crash 4 has a retro Crash skin, right?
it's a phony. It's a pseudo skin, pseudo retro.
Why does it matter though? So what if people prefer modern Crash? It's like the same thing with Sonic. People prefer modern Sonic over classic Sonic, or classic over modern. It doesn't matter. At the end of the day, like if you expect me to take those videos down without without you doing anything, then that's it's not gonna happen, guys. That's just the hard truth.
I will do afterwards.
afterwards.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm sorry.
Less I can trust you. As soon as I can see people, as soon as I can trust people to stop antagonizing me, then I don't see the. Then I wouldn't have to. Then don't have to feel threatened at all, and you
Um,
know.
but no one's antagonizing you, and if anyone is antagonizing you, you have the option to ignore them. But you don't ignore them. That's the problem.
Much like why should I ever ignore? Like why shouldn't ignore? You didn't ignore that. Like why shouldn't? How did I
Yes,
put it?
the imposter accounts. Yeah, I'll admit I didn't ignore them. I gave them attention. I
You
probably.
also didn't ignore. You also didn't ignore Nate. Nate.
That's who I was talking about because Nate is the one who made those imposter accounts. That's who I'm talking about. When it comes, I gave them attention and I admit to that. But I stopped giving them attention. I admitted that giving them attention was wrong, so I stopped. And I moved on with my life. And then I made my game review and I continued working and I continued being happy. Well, quote unquote, because I wouldn't say I'm fully happy. I do have depression, but it's not as severe as you probably have it, because you are the cause of your own misery, quite frankly.
I look like Activision's employee to you.
No, you just look like a Crash Bandicoot hater.
If I was a Crash Bandicoot hater, I wouldn't be making Crash Bandicoot retro hijinks in the first place. Let alone defending the genuine article from the hoax that Activision was showing down everyone's throats.
Actually, if you were a real Crash fan, you wouldn't put that malware in your game. You wouldn't be putting all this hate stuff in your game like, oh, Lotus a retarded faggot who should kill himself or something like that, or Travis the Dragon should he has no human feelings or anyone like that. Like, like you wouldn't be doing that if you were a real Crash fan. Real Crash fans don't put hate in their game. Do you see any of have you played my game? Do you see any of that in my game?
See it a lot in I see it a lot in your YouTube community feed, and I used to see it on Twitter too.
Okay, show me some examples.
Let's see. For instance, um,
Are you having trouble there, buddy? Cause I don't think you're. Cause if you're having trouble thinking, it maybe has to do with the fact that it never happened.
you did troll me and you know it. You did post the um,
Oh
he
yeah,
posted the Twitters on Twitter that I'm a faggot.
I've never ever called you a faggot. I don't ever call anyone
Mm.
faggots, cause I'm not homophobic like you are. And even if you were gay, that doesn't matter to me, quite frankly.
You accuse me for being virgin.
Well, are you a virgin?
So what if I was virgin? That doesn't mean I'm a faggot. It doesn't mean I'm a faggot. I'm still
Okay, that
straight.
gotcha. That's great. That's great. So, what does that have to do with me calling you a faggot?
See if I find the link you made a post or made a caricature of my caricature as the
Oh,
raptor.
gay as the Raptor. Oh, the part where I made a
Ah,
gay clone of you. I never called you a faggot though. I never called you the F slur. That's all you, bro.
It's a synonym. That's still a synonym.
Nah, that's. I mean, if you think about it, that's like calling a kid with Down syndrome a retard. When, yeah, they're synonyms, but one's more harsher, one's more stronger than the other. I don't think you get that, man. Like again, you are the creation of your own misery.
It makes no sense at all.
Like, let's be real here. Let me explain to you, since it makes no sense. Um, do you think if you were a real Crash fan,
Ladies and gentlemen, we have a
like
bit
you
of a
so claim, if you're a real Crash fan like you so claim, why not just ignore the modern Crash games and continue playing the classic ones?
Well, how is that gonna help the Crash franchise to recover from the damage Activision caused?
What damage? There has been no damage. In fact, ever since Activision started making them, Crash has been stronger than ever. In fact, he just got done with the McDonald's promotion.
Even those are, even those aren't the real Crash Bandicoot merch. They're fakes with Crash Bandicoot's name on it, and
Well,
you know
that's
it.
your opinion. That's just your opinion, man. That's not a fact.
That's another problem. Though it's like the genuine article Crash Bandicoot is being completely disavowed.
What if I told you, hear me out and hear me out here. The genuine article doesn't exist. The genuine article is the Crash we have, and the Crash we've always have.
And what's this in a image?
Oh,
Do you see that?
It's a picture of Crash Bandicoot from Crash 2. It's from his Crash 2 era.
You don't
Saying,
think that's the real, and you don't think that's a real deal?
I mean, it's as real as Crash 4 Crash. It's as real as
And
Insane
where's Crash?
Trilogy.
Then where's Crash 4 Crash trapezoid mouth and big muzzle ring? And why is and why is it a complete retard instead of the instead of
Why does he have to
uh
have that?
that
Why
is
does he have to have those features to
that
be
instead of
defined? Why does he have to have those features to be defined as a real Crash Bandicoot? Why? Why you can't have modernized features like Sonic?
because well
Boy, because it's
even
retarded.
Sonic doesn't have a even Sonic doesn't have that many of the so-called modernized features as
Again,
Crash had.
again, that's purely
Besides,
subjective.
besides the besides the features the original Crash Bandicoot had they're more in character and in brand with Crash Bandicoot. It's opposite to the features the put imposter carries.
I said this in my video about you, and I'm gonna say it to you in call. You are just a regular Crash fan. You're not Andy Gavin or a Jason Rubin. You're not even anyone who owns the IP. Who are you to state which games are official and which games aren't?
Naughty Dogs.
Come again?
I still more stay more true to Naughty Dog original Crash than than Activision and its developer companies were capable to, and you know it.
Not really. I mean, every. Hey, I've actually played your game and I couldn't even get past the first level because your enemies are so buggy that it's impossible to hit them. The code. Yeah, I was watching the bait call.
Yet I fixed it. But I did fix the box afterwards.
Really? Because I played your recent demo, which thankfully didn't have
Like you?
malware. Yeah, I did. I played it and I still couldn't get past the first enemy.
Um, it's
You didn't fix shit,
which
dude.
well,
It's the same bullshit that I dealt with.
did you play with gamepad
Sure
or
did, it didn't
keyboard?
work. Granted, that would be an issue with my computer because most gamepads don't work, but regardless of such, I shouldn't have to play on a gamepad to have a much better experience. It should just be good by default. If you're claiming it to be better than the official Crash games, or I'm
Why
sorry,
you under
the
pressure?
imposters.
Then why are you the only person complaining about them? The recent demo.
I'm not. There are many other people who complain about it. It's just that you do delete those comments. You delete any hate comments.
Because their complaints are vague anyway.
No,
They're
they're
especially fun to
not.
read.
They're
You know
just
what I'm
as
trying to say?
vague as your complaints are when it comes to the fucking modern Crash games. You say that you don't like the designs and you refuse to play them because of that. But however, the way I see it, I just think that your parents would buy them for you and you just hate everyone else because of it. Because why won't you just, because why, how hard is it to actually play the games? Why can't you just give them a try?
It's because they harm because they harm my mental health like they harm my enemies' mental health. Thus they've become my enemies.
Really? Well, ever
I
since I
mean,
played Crash
like okay,
Bandicoot,
like if Insane Trilogy didn't exist in the first place, then I wouldn't they wouldn't be those enemies of mine. They would never become my enemies after all. First place.
no, they wouldn't. You see what I mean when I say that you create your own misery? They wouldn't, you're saying that they wouldn't become your enemies if they would like, if they, okay, correct me if I'm wrong. You're saying that they are your enemies just because they like Modern Crash?
And also because it's a sad that Modern Crash has had a negative influence to them,
Really?
as
Well, so far I've
but its
played,
devs have brainwashed them.
well, I've played Crash Bandicoot 4. I've done 2 full playthroughs of it. And since then, it's made me happier. It's made me feel better about myself. It's actually made my mental health a lot better because I'm a huge fan of Crash Bandicoot. And the fact that he's back, it's made me feel so much happier. So, your little
Yet so
theory,
he's not back.
your little theory about it ruining people's mental health is just bullshit because it only applies to you. It doesn't apply to me, it doesn't apply to Travis, it doesn't apply to Abdul, it doesn't apply to anybody but you.
You're just you and my other enemies. You're just it's your the thing. You only think that Crash is back because it's just delusion. It's not the real Crash Bandicoot that's brought back. It's the imposter. It's not the real. It's
Yeah,
not a
but
real game.
just keep telling, but that's you telling you that. That's you coping. It's just guess, you just gotta accept the fact Crash is back, man, and he's here to stay.
It's not back.
Shh.
The
No.
real Crash Bandicoot that we grew up with. That's not back
Well,
yet.
yet? Okay, what about Crash Bandicoot 4? It's about time. Or not, it's about time. Crash Bandicoot. What was that Crash fan game by Daniel Ridgecrest?
Uh, you mean Crystal's Wrath or
Nah,
that 2D game?
Crash Bandicoot. It's called Crash Bandicoot Back in Time. What do you think? What about Crash Bandicoot Back in Time? That game, you claim that it's, you claim that that game is worse than your game, right?
Well, if anything, it's hit or miss in comparison to
Hit or
Crash Retro Hygiene aims to be.
hit or miss, really. Because if you ask me and many other fans, it's literally the most popular fan game right now. Literally the most popular Crash fan game, and it's because of how famous it
Popularity and
is.
Popularity and accuracy are two separate things, though.
Yeah, but it's popular for being accurate. That's the thing.
Then why does Coco have wrong moveset again? And why
So
and what's
come.
with the warp room? And
Why
last
not?
time I checked
Because
the
if
video
you
of last time I checked the video of the a video about the back in time, the warp room seemed kind of like it looks kind of like if it wasn't assembled properly.
and you think your
Yes, Bob.
fan game is better,
Well, I didn't. Well, can show that. Well, I did. Well, I at least I built the
no,
warp room the
no,
proper way. Started from the
it doesn't matter. No,
like.
no, 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 no. You can't just say at least I did this, at least I did that. No, it's a yes or no question. Do you think the game is better than? Do you think Retro Hijinks is better than Back in Time?
Well, sure.
Sure.
I mean, at
Well,
least more closely follow.
okay, then how come more people like to play Back in Time than your game? And why do people actually avoid your game?
Because you've brainwashed them. Because you and my other enemies have brainwashed them.
Brainwash
Against me.
them. How did we brainwash them?
With all the propaganda videos of yours. Videos,
Really?
hate posts and stuff.
Well, those quote unquote propaganda videos are videos informing people of your posts about your let's look at that. My first video about you was the worst Crash Bandicoot fan game ever made, Retro Hijinks. And I told people that your game had malware in it and it got taken down because of it. Did your game have malware in it? Yes or no?
Does patch file to erase only crash for crash only
So
to
yes.
only erase its insane trilogy and it's about time count as malware.
So yes, you did put malware in your game. Okay, so
That
that's
but erasing insane trilogy and it's
no,
about time
no,
are
no, no,
they're the
no,
only
no.
things it only down went
Put it
down.
up.
Anything else
No, you still
besides
put
definitely.
in malware is a virus that specifically deletes other files. You put in a piece of malware, a bad file that was made
To erase
specifically.
ancient trilogy and it's about time only.
Yep, that's
Or could
malware.
would you rather want me to put it back?
No, I'm glad you took it out, but it should never have been there in the first place. Like the fact that you put it in there in the first place, it destroys the trust between the fan and its creator. How do you expect people to trust you when you betray their trust?
If they didn't find out I have there's a so-called malware in my fan game, it erasing off
People
insane
wouldn't have
trilogy.
found out
I would
that
have only done a favor today.
people wouldn't have found out if you wouldn't have put it in there in the first place. But people found out. Do you really think that people are just gonna look at a bad file and just shrug it off and be like, oh, okay, I'm still gonna keep playing? No, no, people are gonna do that because they're not brain dead.
Well, if they weren't brain dead, they would have not fallen for insane trilogy in the first place, nor Nitro Fuel, nor It's About Time, and nor Team Rumble.
Well, that's the problem. That's your problem, guys. You just judge people based on their opinions.
What about the original Crash Bandicoot?
They exist.
Doesn't that have any value? Has it really lost its value?
Absolutely not. Why do you think they got remade?
Then why there aren't any mercs based on the original Crash Bandicoot instead of the modern imposter?
Because right now
Yeah,
there is no such thing as a classic Crash. There's only regular Crash,
that's
and that's
exact.
the Crash that exists right now. He has had
Classic Crash is the regular Crash.
You realize that Crash
Let's-
Bandicoot has never had a consistent design, right? Ever since Crash to
all the more
Insanity.
reason to all the more reason to revert Crash back to what it was to what it was.
Okay, so why do you like Twin Sanity so much? Why do you think Twin Sanity and Tag Team are okay? They changed the designs.
Well, they weren't as harsh as they weren't as harsh as the as It's About Time and the
But who
others era.
cares? Who cares? Why does it matter?
And that's another problem. That people don't care about classic Crash anymore.
No.
That's a problem I want to solve.
No one stopped caring about Classic Crash. People make videos on Classic Crash all the time. I literally made a video on Classic Crash not too long ago, and it got like a couple of hundred views. Like, where are you getting this notion that nobody cares about Classic Crash?
Why aren't you not posts on Reddit about it? And why are and why and why's and why isn't the Happy Meal serving regarding classic Crash instead of modern Crash?
Well,
I mean, look at Mario, for instance.
are
Let's
you really gonna compare Mario?
Well, for instance, their merchandise, most of them is the regular Mario mercs, and it's not directly based on the that not all of it is based on the Super Mario Brothers movie, even if it was good.
Oh,
Even if I like it myself too.
well, Crash
And
is...
then Disney, and then there's Disney mercs.
Well,
In Disney merchandising, they
why
they
can't you just accept Crash is back?
Huh?
Why can't you just accept Crash is back? Like, why do you...
Because he isn't back.
Okay, allow me to disapprove you. Allow me to disapprove or disprove what you just said. Crash Bandicoot E3 2016. What is this? What's the video I just sent to you? What was that? It says Crash Bandicoot E3 2016 reveal. I know, I'm not sure. I'm not, I don't have my glasses on. What do you think? What do you think it says?
Crash Bandicoot E3 2016 reveal.
Exactly, and what is in that video? A trailer announcement for remakes based off Crash Bandicoot The Insane Trilogy, and his announcement that he'd be in Skylanders. There, I just
Who
disproved.
asked for? But who asked for the remake for? But who really asked for the remake of the original Crash trilogy? And more importantly,
Everyone!
thank you.
Where were you in the community around that time? Everyone was asking for Crash remakes. I was asking for Crash remakes.
And more importantly, why wasn't they remade properly? Why could they at least, or well, why couldn't they at least try to use it to repurpose some of the assets that were used in the original games, like Crash Retro Hijinks is doing, and back in time.
Because they wanted to make a remake, not a remaster. If you really just want to play a better looking version of Crash 2, just get the
Except
name
it's
you...
not better version. Except it's not a better loop.
Oh yeah, I know. I agree. I agree. I'm not even liking Saint Trilogy that much. I actually prefer the original games. But that doesn't mean it that the remakes are frauds or fakes or that people who like them are retarded. It just means that I prefer the original games. Is that okay? Is that okay? Or is it not okay?
Don't you think there should have been public comments from the fans to against the Insane Trilogy and its current state? You know what I mean?
let me ask you something. And this is where you
And
left the call. This is where you left the call yesterday. Our moderator was asking. He plays games like Need for Speed. He'll play games like he plays games like Spyro, Need for Speed, fucking I don't know, Mario, or the point I'm trying to make is he plays other games other than Crash. Does that make him mentally ill?
those games are necessary. Well, with those games and franchises, haven't necessarily experienced the same crucial fate as Crash Bandicoot has. Besides, besides,
You're right. Mo Crash
besides the
Bandicoot.
moderator has, besides they, it managed to find interest on Need for Speed and the others. Raw.
Is he mentally handicapped though? Is he mentally ill for thinking like in those games?
No, because they're not the impersonation. They're not the impersonations of their usual selves.
So why don't you choose to play those other games? Why can't you just leave Crash alone?
What makes you think I could find the interest from from games that don't from games that don't share the same qualities as the original Crash Bandicoot franchise?
If you really can't find another game if you really think that Crash, let me get this straight. Do you think that the Crash trilogy is the Crash trilogy your favorite video game trilogy? It is for me. I've said that
Yes.
in my video.
No.
Okay. Do you think that you could find a game that's better than those games?
I doubt that. Again,
That's
after
your
all,
problem.
Crash Bandicoot has set the standard for. After all, those games, those original Crash Bandicoot games, have set the standard for the linear 3D platformers in general.
You're right. They did. They definitely set those standards. But you know what? There are other games who expanded upon those standards. Games like
Not Jazz.
Jak and Daxter, Sly Cooper, Ratchet and
Those are
Clank,
open world. Those are open world platformers, not linear.
Linear. Well, who cares? Actually, no.
No.
I actually
Wow.
said this in my Crash Band. I said this in my Jak and Daxter video. Jak and Daxter is literally just a Crash Bandicoot game that just so happens to be open world. It literally has levels it literally has linear sections to that weave in and out of each other. It's literally it's all some may call it, you may even call it a Crash Bandicoot ripoff, but it's not. Like, why do they specifically need to be linear 3D platformers? Actually, have you even played Sly Cooper? That game is entirely linear.
Even in terms of plot progression. Like, for instance, games like Grand Theft Auto, it's known to have it's known to have tasks and plot progressions all over the place. It's easy to get lost in that game.
No.
Actually,
Grand Theft Auto. I mean, don't get me wrong. I don't like Grand Theft Auto that much. I'm more of a Saints Row kind of guy. But the point I'm trying to make here is that, like, GTA has a pretty linear story if you go to the right missions. If you're doing the main story missions, if you're doing side missions, then you might get lost. But the main story missions is just
the main story missions can be hard to find from the middle of so many side missions.
I
At
mean,
worst, the side missions may actually interrupt the main mission sometimes.
the same way gems could interrupt the main level of a Crash Bandicoot game. Why would I want to get a gem?
No, not really. That's not really. No,
Yes,
that's
it
not
is.
really the case.
It's called side gameplay. It's called replay value. It exists in damn near every game.
But that's the thing that nobody, the side missions in the Grand Theft Auto and such, they're not really playing over the same level. They're just come in a minute and they could just come in the middle of it, pass you were originally focused on, and then get you confused and all.
Well, at the end of the day, I don't. Well, you know what? I think we're just going around in circles. At the end of the day, it doesn't seem like you're willing to change. So I'm not gonna take the videos down. And since this call was recorded, I'm gonna upload this call too as a round two to our debate. So I hope you had a good talk because this was a pretty good
I should have
entertainment.
figured.
This was entertainment.
I should have figured you were recording this. I should have figured you were recording this too. But I mean,
I've said I
like you
did.
said, what?
So have a good night. What we have here, and I'm gonna say what you said. What we have here is a failure to communicate. Wow. And that is the last time I'm ever speaking to that unhinged freak. Whoop-de-doo.